Differences between theory and practice. Theory versus practice. Theory is a proposed explanation of the relationship between two or more concepts, or an explanation for how, why a phenomenon occurs. Whereas practice refers to the actual observation, operation, or experiment. Practice is the observation of disparate concepts, or a phenomenon, that needs explanation. Theories are based on academic models or frameworks that are developed to help explain or predict certain phenomena which are generally discipline-specific and often build upon or even contradict one another. Whereas practice is based on facts and theories. Many practices have been around for ages and no clear theory is known to be behind them. Practice is a broad term and is not related to a certain field of work. The practices in all fields of life change from time to time. Practice describes the application of knowledge or skills in a given situation. The objective of theory is to describe the logic underlying thought and reasoning by extending classical propositional, predicate, and modal logic. Whereas the objective of practice is to describe experiences, explaining the way you have created or designed something, or imagining what might happen in a real-life situation. Theory is when you know everything but nothing works. Whereas practice is when everything works but no one knows why. Theory is a book knowledge. Whereas the knowledge or content of practice comes from experience. Example 1. Theory linked to practice. In the example 1, the theory is explained before it is linked to experience or practice. You may, of course, reverse this order depending on what you're writing. When creating a linking sentence, consider the ideas you have already introduced and how you might use this to introduce the new idea. Think about why the theory and practice are connected, and why this is important. Medeiros, 1991, Theory of Transformational Learning. Linked to helping students become self-directed learners. The transformational learning theory developed by Jacques Medeiros, 1991, describes how critical reflection of assumptions and beliefs held enables adult learners to better understand their learning process. In the case of adult learners in the Flinders Learning Lounge, this process of critical reflection is particularly useful for the further development problem-solving skills. For instance, prompting students to reflect on how they have tackled a problem in the past enables them to look forward and use these experiences to tackle future challenges. In doing so, I have found that students become more self-directed in their approach to learning. Example 2. Practice linked to multiple theories. If there are multiple, but differing theories required to understand the experience, multiple linking sentences can be used to create clear connections between theory and practice. Medeiros, 1991, Theory of Transformational Learning. Linked to helping students to become self-directed learners. Linked to Nappers, 2000, Conclusions on Lifelong Learning in Higher Education. The transformational learning theory initially developed by Jacques Medeiros, 1991, describes how critical reflection on assumptions made and beliefs held enables adult learners to better understand their learning process. In the case of adult learners in the Flinders Learning Lounge, this process of critical reflection is particularly useful in the recognition and further development problem-solving skills. For instance, prompting students to reflect on how they have tackled a problem in the past enables them to look forwards and use the experience to tackle future challenges. In doing so, I have found that students become more self-directed in their approach to learning. The ability to assess and plan future learning are also skills exhibited by self-directed, lifelong learners. Students who are active in this process both formally and informally continue to develop their learning strategies and apply them to different situations. Napa, 2000. Kindly subscribe my YouTube channel Thesis Helper. Thanks for watching.